I was telling a fella Friday night who is coming in with us about what my mentor Fred Carter told me when the first night I got to Nashville about the record business. And he said, "You're from Louisiana," and he said, "So you know that Jimmy Davis wrote 'You Are My Sunshine.' But most people in the world have no idea that Jimmy Davis wrote 'You Are My Sunshine.' But everyone, Governor Jimmy Davis. But everyone knows 'You Are My Sunshine.' And the point is that the song is the thing. And a song will be going on long after all of us are gone, if it hits the right chord. This song, for me, it started out as from a place of very deep grief of losing a couple of friends from back in the old days here in Austin. And I was trying to process it and having a hard time with it. I went to my dad and I asked him about death and about how you deal with post-people leaving. And he finally, I think in desperation, said to me, he said, "Well, Bobby, there's some things we're just not supposed to understand while we're here." And that got me thinking about that old song, that old hymn, "Further Along." Further along we'll understand why. And I kind of got an earworm going on with that, and I couldn't stop thinking about what that song meant. And it really wasn't kind of a traditional hymn in that way. It was just more of like almost like a secular hymn. And it started just hanging in there, and I started structuring something around it. And then I remembered the way Pete and Woody always talked about things like that. And Woody always said that he didn't trust a melody that hadn't been around for a long time. And so what he was always doing was taking melodies like that and writing his own words to them and reconstructing them. And so I let that be my lead. I surrendered to that and let that be my lead with this. And this song evolved. And John was with me the night this happened. I was teaching it to John backstage. We were going on stage at Kerrville. And Rod Kennedy came around and said, "Who wrote that song? Did you write that song, Bobby?" And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "That's going to be the anthem of the Kerrville Folk Festival." And I was playing it for John and David Amram to see. I thought the song was too long. I thought it needed one of the verses cut out. And I was seeing how they would react to which verse it might be. And so I said, "Rod, why don't we wait and play it for the audience first and see how they react to it and test it out, see how that works." And so Rod said, "That sounds like a good idea." And he went out on the stage and said, "And here's Bobby, John, and David with the new anthem of the Kerrville Folk Festival." Who knows Rod Kennedy knows that's the way he does things. And people just gathered up and locked arms and started singing, and it's been taking me around the world ever since. And I'm very blessed with it because it's brought wonderful, wonderful things to my front door and some very heartbreaking things to my front door too. But anyway, we're going to do this in this Heal in the Wisdom
That's
song.
what good art does.
Huh?
That's what good art does.
That's right. I knew a man who had it all for a while. He was smart, clear, and handsome with a genuine smile. Everybody that met him felt nothing to hide. But while still a young man with so much ahead, he just laid down and he died. sang there is a reason, there is a rhyme, there is a season, there is a time, there is a purpose, there is a plan. One day together we'll deal in the wisdom and we'll understand. And I knew a woman with nothing at all, with no one to catch her, she had a sad fall. But while on the bottom, oh, she learned how to see. And today she is flying, teaching her brothers that they can be free. She sings there is a reason, there is a rhyme, there is a season, and there is a time, there is a purpose, there is a plan. One day together we'll deal in the wisdom that we'll understand. And I knew a country, oh, we had visions and dreams. All the people were equal, or so it all seemed. But gaining oneness with our fellow man, it's so useless not knowing the spirit of oneness we share with the land. She sings there is a reason, and there is a rhyme, there is a season, there is a time, there is a purpose, there is a plan. One day together we'll deal in the wisdom and we'll understand. I hear y'all singing. Right after Obama was elected, by the way, I sang this song for his election night about 15 miles down the road from John McCain's campaign. It was a great night, I understand. And right after he was elected, I heard him say something very similar to this last verse of this song. It really, really knocked me out when I heard somebody, a politician, saying it. I know of people beginning to learn. It all moves together, the wheel always turns. And we must act swiftly, but oh so carefully too. And if we are honest and learn to believe, we just might continue to sing. There is a reason, and there is a rhyme. There is a season, there is a time, there is a purpose, there is a plan. One day together with you and the wisdom, and we'll understand. That's pretty. Let's do it one more time. There is a reason, and there is a rhyme. There is a season, there is a time, there is a purpose, there is a plan. One day together we'll hear the wisdom, and we'll understand. Yes, one day together we'll hear the wisdom, and we'll understand. Sometimes he plays some things, and I have to do everything I can muster to stay in focus. It's so